For the better part of a decade, the narrative surrounding India has been one of pure forward momentum, a modern economic engine rapidly accelerating on the global stage. Just last year, that momentum hit a major milestone. India officially overtook Japan, a nation long defined by its sprawling industrial power, to claim the title of the world's fourth largest economy. Financial forecasters were already writing the headlines for the next target. The nation was widely projected to take the number 3 spot in short order, sitting directly behind Germany, China, and the United States. Inside the country, this registered as a peak historic achievement. Decades of steady climbing were finally materializing into top-tier global dominance. For a nation heavily invested in this story of continuous, rapid expansion, the path forward felt mathematically guaranteed. Then the International Monetary Fund released its latest global update, and that guaranteed path vanished. The IMF data revealed India hadn't moved up to third. It had fallen from fourth, straight down to sixth. In the process, the ranking placed the Indian economy officially back behind the United Kingdom. How does an economy in overdrive suddenly slam into reverse? Did millions of workers stop producing overnight? Or did a massive sector quietly crash? Solving this discrepancy requires looking past the headlines to interrogate the specific machinery the IMF uses to calculate global wealth. Gross domestic product calculates the total value of all goods and services a country produces. But to get an accurate picture, economists have to separate actual growth from simple inflation, where prices go up but physical production doesn't. To do this, they calculate what's called real GDP. This involves anchoring their math to the prices of a specific past year, known as a base year. By measuring today's output against those fixed historical prices, they can track genuine economic progress over time. India's production was measured against a 2011 starting line for a decade. Recently, that baseline shifted to 2022, when the economy surged. Pulling the starting line closer to the present day compresses the perceived volume of growth, shaving about 3.8% off the top-line calculation. Governments around the world regularly update their base years to get a clearer picture of their current economic health. It is a standard mathematical audit, not a financial penalty. The physical factories and services across the country didn't actually shrink. The mathematical lens used to measure them simply changed focus, resulting in a smaller final score. The statistical lens isn't the only factor. When the IMF builds its global leaderboard, it converts every nation's output into a single shared metric, the United States dollar. Over the last few years, escalating conflicts and geopolitical instability caused the price of commodities, specifically crude oil, to surge. Because India relies heavily on importing its energy, it buys that expensive oil using its foreign dollar reserves. To keep the country's infrastructure running, massive amounts of dollars are constantly draining out of the national bank. This constant drain creates an imbalance, as seen in this exchange dynamic. As foreign dollars leave the system, the Indian rupee depreciates. You now need far more rupees to buy the exact same amount of global goods. And that brings us right back to the IMF's global leaderboard. Even if a country's domestic production is booming, if its currency is weak, converting that local value into US dollars will make the entire economy look smaller on the global stage. Even as India shifted down in the rankings, the IMF's own underlying data revealed a contradictory figure. The nation's economy is currently expanding at 6.5%. When compared to the rest of the world, the contrast is stark. This chart shows the global economy expanding at an average of just 3.1%. Meaning India is operating at more than double the speed of its competitors. The IMF's own chief, Kristalina Georgieva, explicitly noted this trend. The official institutional consensus is that India's core economic fundamentals remain exceptionally strong. The internal engine driving the nation is outperforming the global average, regardless of what the superficial dashboard of GDP rankings might suggest. We can see the resilience of that engine by looking backward. During the 1990 Gulf War, similar geopolitical strain and high import costs triggered such a severe crisis that India was forced to physically pledge its gold reserves just to stay afloat. Any nation that heavily imports its energy will feel the financial friction of overseas wars. But today's Indian economy has the built-in strength to absorb those massive external shocks without crashing. Global rankings provide an easy shorthand, but they are often distorted snapshots of exchange rates and base years. A temporary drop in rank does not mean a drop in actual domestic growth.